You guys are amazing at what I essentially call cog rehab.
Yes, exactly.
So I leverage people like you to rehabilitate thinking and memory.
Yep.
The way I would leverage a neurophysical therapist to help with walking.
Exactly. That's
very,
right.
Very powerful stuff. Howdy do. Hello, everyone. Aaron Boster here. And thank you, as always, for learning about MS with me. This is Carolyn Conway. She's joining us from The Ohio State University. And we're going to be having a very special educational presentation tonight. If you have pen and paper, guys, get them out, because this is a tour de force, things that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Caroline, welcome so much. Thank you very, very much for being here.
So as Dr. Boster said, my name's Caroline. I am a second-year graduate student studying speech-language pathology at Ohio State University. So I did 4 years of undergrad also at Ohio State. And now I'm in my second year of my graduate program. I kind of came to this position and being interested in multiple sclerosis because of my mom. In December of 2015, my mom was diagnosed with MS after about a year of, having some symptoms and being bounced around to a handful of doctors and, getting some different diagnoses. MS is kind of what everyone settled on. And so since then, this is something that she and my family have been tackling. And so I have a really close personal connection, and I've been interested in the disease specifically from a speech pathology standpoint. So that's kind of what I'm here to talk with you guys about tonight, our role specifically working with adults with MS. The three big things that we focus on are speech, swallowing, and cognition. So cognition is kind of this umbrella term that relates to all the different mental processes that we do on a daily basis. So things, again, that you probably don't even think about. Memory is a huge one. So both immediate memory, if someone says something to you and you're able to say it back to them or recall it right away. Delayed recall. So if someone says, you talk to someone on the phone, they say, hey, meet me, at the coffee shop at 3:00, and then 10 minutes later you're like, wait,
what am I supposed to do?
What am I doing? So that delayed recall. Attention is a huge one. So being able to attend to a task, and there's different kinds of attention too. So sustained attention, just being able to concentrate, divided attention where you're having different things going on. So maybe you are making spaghetti on the stove, but then you have garlic bread in the oven and you need to be able to monitor both things at the same time.
While helping your kid with homework.
Yes, absolutely, of course. And then the dog's barking in the background, and then you got like a whole thing happening.
And this is such an important thing to talk about. When people impacted by MS experience cognitive difficulties, it's typically this prefrontal attention executive functioning thing. So it's not that you don't know who you are or where you are.
Yeah.
It's that you're not able to take in the information that someone's saying to you. And so if you can't attend to it, you can't remember it.
Exactly. So attention is kind of like that first step. Like, are you able to engage and take in this information? And then the memory part of it is like, are you able to do something with that information? Can you recall it? So that's a huge one. The attention and memory, problem solving with like that complex problem solving. So are you able to, if there's an emergency, what are you going to do? Your car breaks down on the side of the highway, kind of working out these situations. Your son's running late to soccer practice and, you have to also take your daughter to ballet, like all these different things. And then just speed of processing in general. So how quickly are you able to complete tasks without, that kind of brain fog kicking in? So those are kind of some big overarching cognitive areas that we commonly see in people with MS. And speech pathologists are so lucky that we're able to participate in the rehab process for these things. So I'm really passionate about the cognitive area. I think cognition is so cool. And again, it can be very individualized based on where your lesions are. But in general, these are kind of the things that we're seeing. And so these changes occur in almost half, or would you say, if not more?
I would say probably 50 to 70% of people impacted by MS may experience some degree of cognitive impairment.
Yeah. So
that doesn't mean gloom and doom and that, you're going to end up in a bad situation.
Right.
It just means that this may be a symptom that we have to grapple with.
Right. And so there's two kind of treatment areas for the cognitive aspects. Number one would be pharmacologic treatment. So medications that you can take. And there's a lot of studies and ongoing research looking at these different things. But I'm not going to comment on that too much since that's not really in my scope.
More over in my camp.
Exactly.
There's a lot of videos on the channel about cognition And there's medicines like stimulant medicines
Yes.
that trick you into being more awake.
Yeah.
Another area, just to talk pharmacologically for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
is treating depression.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people with MS can suffer from depression,
Okay.
which worsens their memory.
Yeah.
And it's called pseudo-dementia.
Okay,
So we may
gotcha.
help them think clearly by treating their depression.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
And then the last one I want to point out is all too often we give them medicines which have side effects that impair cognition.
Oh,
So I
see.
give you an
Yes.
anticholinergic for your bladder
Mhm.
and it impairs your thinking.
Yes.
So there is a lot of work on the pharmacology side. But
Mhm.
let me kick it over to you and tell us about how you guys in speech pathology help, because it's
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah, it's super neat. And so the one thing that we are huge proponents of are compensatory strategies. So things that you can implement in your daily life to help with some of these different things. So first, I'm going to talk about internal memory strategies. Then I'm going to talk about external memory strategies. So internal memory strategies. So those are strategies that don't require anything except for your brain. So you don't need any extra stuff, no pencil or paper, no calendar, just your brain. So internal memory strategies are different things you can do to help remember certain things. So the first one is rehearsal. And again, some of these things I'm going to talk about, you guys have probably already done and not even realized it. So the thing that we kind of do is just draw your attention to it and kind of train you in implementing
Reinforce
these
it.
strategies in your daily life. Yes. So rehearsal is just repeating things in your head, going over them. If you're going to the grocery and you need milk, bread, eggs, milk, bread, eggs, milk, bread, eggs, going over it in your head. So just kind of repeating those things. Rehearsal, thinking like if you're rehearsing for a play, you say the lines in your head to prepare. You can say that with your grocery list or whatever.
Repetition
Yes.
is the mother of learning.
Yes, exactly. The next one I want to talk about is visualization. And I really like this strategy.
Me too.
So creating like a mental picture in your head. So sticking with the grocery store example, you're picturing, going to the store and you're going to go in and you're going to go to the right and you're going to find the fruits and vegetables there. And that's where you're going to get your oranges, your bananas, and your apples. And then you're picturing going to the left where you're going to get your milk and your eggs. So really creating this picture in your mind can help things stick a lot more clearly. So visualization is a huge one. The next one is association. And I think this technique is really great for learning names, especially if you have like different therapists or doctors or, even neighbors, like people that you're meeting in your daily life. So associating something new with something familiar.
Mhm.
So say you go to a new doctor and they have the same name as your childhood best friend. So thinking, oh, my new, cardiologist has the same last name as, the Smiths who lived next door when I was growing up. So trying to make those associations just really helps things stick in your brain a lot more clearly. So I really like that technique. And then the last one I want to hit on for now is called chunking. So putting things into groups. And I love this one, especially, again, we'll go back to the grocery store example, but when you need to remember things that kind of have some similarities. So if you're going to the grocery, it makes a lot more sense to put all your fruits in kind of one, part of your list, and then all your veggies, instead of writing down broccoli, bread, cereal, banana. Like that's not very efficient,
You're
right?
not going to find it in that order either.
Yeah, exactly. So not only is it inefficient, but it's also harder to remember because it's all over the place. So putting things that go together in a group, picking that category and kind of sticking with it. So all your fruits together, all your vegetables together, all your snacks, whatever. So those are just some internal memory strategies. So things that don't really involve anything else, just involve your brain. The next set of strategies I want to talk about is external memory strategies. So as you might guess, those are things that require something else. So they need some sort of extra stuff. So whether that be a pencil and paper, a calendar, an alarm, your phone, yes, is huge. There are so many cool things you can do with your phone. Writing things down is huge. So note-taking, making sure that we're, documenting things. And not only is it good because it trains your brain, you're like actively engaging and, writing things down, but then it's something physical you can go back to.
Yep.
It's like, it's not just in your brain and then it's gone. It's like, oh, well, I have a piece of paper that I can look at.
I want to highlight that because that's a technique which is used in medical training. So when I was a medical student and then a resident on the wards, we were expected to make lists of things we needed to do for each patient.
Yeah.
So for the first patient, I will make an open box and then I'll write, check vital signs. And during the beginning of the day, we would round, and the interns would all have their papers, and we would make all the lists of the things we need to do. And we were allowed to leave when everything was checked off. And I have continued that technique. Like, so for example, if I have a Saturday where I'm going to be doing some cleaning, I may whip out a piece of paper and write down all the things I want to get done, and then periodically through the day, check them off.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of gives you that sense of accomplishment too. Like, not only does it keep you on track, but it's also, you're like,
sometimes I'll write something down. Sometimes I'll write something down I did so I can check it off.
I've done that too. I think it's so funny. Like, I'm like, I did this an hour ago, but check it anyways.
And you can do that on your phone too. So you can keep running lists on your phone and then come back to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So writing things down is huge. Calendars or day planners are awesome. So calendar, you can have your whole month there to refer to, but I also like having day planners. So things of like what you're doing each day. So maybe, you have a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. and then you have to pick up your son from soccer at 3:45 and then you're going to dinner at 7. So those exact day things, having those written down as well. And then the last one I want to talk about is alarms. And so I know a lot of people think about alarms in terms of getting up in the morning. Nobody likes when their alarm goes off. But I also really love setting alarms to remind to take medication. I think it's a great technique that you can have. So, you can do them on your phone, recurring alarms. So maybe at 8 a.m. every day, you're going to have your morning medication alarm go off. And then it reminds you every single day, and it won't shut up until you do it. And so it's a really nice kind of external way to remind yourself to take medication. And along those same lines, just throwing in another plug for pill boxes. I am a huge proponent of using pill boxes to organize medication.
Me too.
I think especially because a lot of people with MS are on a handful of medications. It's not just
7.
Yeah. So like, it's not just 1 or 2 where you could just grab the bottle. 7 medications is a lot. And likely you're taking them at different times of the day. The dosage is different for all of them. So having pill boxes can help you keep all of that in line. And it also takes the stress off of doing it every single day. So maybe on Sunday, you integrate it into your routine where, you sit down with your cup of coffee and you organize your pill box for the entire week. So it takes that stress off.
That is an excellent recommendation. And there's another added advantage during the course of the day. If you're not sure whether you took the pills,
I was going to say that
you just look and see if it's in there. If it's in there, you didn't take it. If it's not there, then you took it.
Exactly. So it's keeping you organized and it's keeping your memory in check. So those are some external memory strategies that I think are super helpful for anyone, but especially people with MS who might have these cognitive dysfunction symptoms.
Super helpful information. I hope that you are gaining an understanding of the deep impact that a team member with this background in speech pathology brings to the table. Today, we talked about upping your game with thinking and memory so that you can live your best life with MS. And I just want to say thank you so much for this didactic.
Welcome.
This was a tour of force. I'm very hopeful that we would get you to come back sometime. Would you be willing to come back and join us?
Absolutely. Yes,
Awesome.
for
I think
sure.
That's fantastic. All right, guys, God bless, be safe, and we'll talk to you really, really soon. Take care.